Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is the Perl Complete Beginners course. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to take you step by step through the most important parts of Perl. So first of all, we're going to start off with the Hello World program. So we're going to use the print command and simply type in Hello World. Then we'll do a slash, a forward slash here, and an N. And that forward slash and an N is for a new line. So let's save it and let's print it. There we go. Hello world. Okay, this is part 2 and we're going to have a look at some scalar variables. So we can create the scalar variable with my and then the $sign, and it can be anything. So basically this will hold value. So I'm just going to put name. Then I'm going to put this equals sign, which means I'm going to assign it something. So I'm going to put Dave. Okay, so Dave is now being stored in that name. We always finish the end of the sentence like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to print the name out. So all I have to do for that is scalar name, save it, and print it. There we go. Dave. Okay. Right. We're going to do, let's have a look. Scalar number. So we're going to get a number like 50. Okay. Then we're going to print it out. It's not name. We'll give it a different name here. So we'll just call that number. Okay. Now we're going to print out number. Okay. Run that. Okay, so we've got number there, 50. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do 2. So I'm going to print my scalar number 1. I'm going to assign that to 50. I'm going to print my scalar number 2. I'm going to assign that to 50. Okay, and then we're going to do my scalar total, which is going to be assigned to scalar number 1 plus scalar number 2. So basically we've got scalar number 1, which contains a value of 50, scalar number 2, which contains a value of 50. We've got another scalar here called total, which is going to add these two together. So all we need to do now is print out the total of number 1 and number 2. So simply total. Let's save that. Let's run it. There you go. 100. So it's added number 1 to number 2. We could also mess around with this. We could put 5. Now let's say 50. And we're going to put 5 there. We could do minus. Let's run it. Okay, so we've got the value of 45. We could do times. Let's do that. Oops. $250. There we go. And we could do divide. 10. So just on a little interesting note here, If we put 0, let's try and divide number 1 by number 2. And there we go. We can't divide by 0, so it gives us a message, illegal division by 0. Okay everybody, we're just going to do a little bit of standard input today. So I'm going to print a message to the user telling the user what to do. So let's say, enter your name. Okay. Underneath it, I'm going to do chomp here, and then I'm going to create a scalar variable called my name, and then I'm going to assign it to standard input, and then I'm going to print out the result to the user, but I'm going to interpolate it. So I'm going to take the name, store it in the variable, and then I'm going to print out the name. So it's going to be something like hello, that's the greeting, and then scalar name / new line character. Okay, let's save it. Let's run it. Okay, so we've got there. Whoops, let's make that bigger. Enter your name. I'm going to put Steve. Hit enter. There you go. Hello, Steve. So it's interpolated the name into the output there. Right, there's another variation on this. Let's have a look without the standard input there. Okay, so let's just try this. Let's just run it. Okay, again, name Steve, hit enter. There we go. Hello, Steve. Okay, now we come on to string concatenation, or joining strings together. So I'm going to start off with the keyword my, create a scalar variable called first name. Okay, I'm going to assign that to Billy, and another scalar, my last name, and I'm going to assign that to Bob. Okay, and then we're going to do another scalar variable called my scalar full name, and then we're going to assign that to scalar first name, and this is how we're going to join the strings together. We just do a dot there, and those two there, just to give it a little bit of a gap, and scalar last name. Okay, now what we've got to do is we've got to print it out. So we use the print here, and we simply just say print out full name. Save it and run it, and there you go. We've joined two strings together, Billy Bob. Okay, let's try something else. We're going to work with some numbers now. So my scalar number 1, I'm going to assign that to a value of 50, and my scalar number 2, we're going to assign that to a value of 6, and then we're going to do my scalar result, and we're going to assign that to scalar number 1 and scalar number 2. Okay, and then all we do is we print out the result. Scalar result. Save it, run it. Now, you'll notice something here. We printed out 506. So let's just fix that, shall we? So again, all we do, if we want a gap, is go like that and run the program. There we go. We've got the two values there, 50 and 6. Okay, we're just going to do a little bit of string concatenation where we join some strings. So I'm just going to create a scalar variable called var, which is short for variable. Going to assign it to random xxx. Okay. So now we're going to print out a string and we're going to dump that value or put that value into the string. So print simply the film is an, and then we just do var film, then a new line character there. Okay, so that value is going to end up in the string, so let's just run it. There we go. The film is an XXX film. Okay, there's another way to actually concatenate that. We can do it like this. Let's run it again. There we go. So that's another way of concatenating it into the string. Hey everybody, this is basically if conditionals. So we're going to start off with the if statement. So I'm going to create a scalar variable called name. I'm going to assign that scalar variable a name, which is Dave. Okay, so that scalar variable now is holding that bit of information, Dave, inside it. So I'm going to create a conditional, an if conditional, if, and then we're going to say scalar name is eq equal to Dave. Then we're going to do something. So if the name is equal to Dave, we're going to print out print hello, and then we're going to use string concatenation again. Let's just neaten that up a little bit. Hello scalar name, then a new line. Okay, so let's just save that. Okay, let's just run it. There you go. Hello. Okay, we're going to do the if else now. So we've got my name. This is the scalar variable. We've assigned it to Dave. So we're going to start off as we did before. So if scalar name is equal to Dave, we're going to do something. And we're going to print hello, and then interpolate the name into that string, name, and a new line. And this is where we do else. So else. If that's not the case, then we're going to have to print something else here. If the name's not equal to Dave, so print who are you? New line. Okay, so we're going to run it first. So let's just run it. Okay, so it says hello Dave because the name up here is equal to Dave. So let's put Sid. Okay, so let's run that. And it says, who are you? Okay, everybody, here we have an example of using if, Elsif, and else. So we created a scalar variable here, name1, which has been assigned to Dave, name2, which has been assigned to Bill, and name3, which has been assigned to Sid. We printed out a message to the user telling the user to enter their name, and then we've used chomp and we created a scalar variable here called my scalar name, and we've assigned it to standard input, so that will get the input that the user types in. We started off with the if conditional, so if scalar name is equal to name1, which is up here, which is Dave, we're going to print out the message hello, and we're going to interpolate name1, which is going to be Dave here. We've done the else if, again, scalar name is equal to name2, so if the user types in name2, which is Bill, it's going to print out hello scalar name2 and interpolate Bill into it. Again, we've got the else if pattern here again for name3, and we're just going to finish off with the else. So if the user types in anything else other than Dave, Bill, or Sid, you're going to get who are you. So let's run the program. So first of all, we're going to type in a name. We're going to type in Dave. So we get hello Dave. And then we're going to type in, let's say, Bill. Hello Bill. And then we're going to type in the other one, which is name 3, which is going to be Sid. And we get hello Sid. And we're going to type in the last one, which is going to be an unknown name, so Pete. So who are you? So there you go. Okay, so these are common numerical comparison operators. So we got greater than, we've got less than, we've got not equal to, we've got less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or simply equal to. And we've got two scalar variables here. We've got number 1, which is assigned to 10, and number 2, which is assigned to 1. So what we're saying here, so if number 1 is greater than number 2, print greater than number 2. Okay, so we're just going to run that. So there you go, greater than number 2, because 10 is greater than number 2. So we're just going to use the less than, and that says if number 1 is less than number 2, let's just put 1 there, I'll put 5 there, and less. So we're just going to print this out. So less than number 2. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do not equal to. Simply not equal. So if number 1 is not equal to number 2, print not equal to. Not equal to. Let's run that. Not equal to number 2. Okay. So if number 1 is less than or equal to, print less than or equal to. Less than equal to. Let's just save that. Let's run it. Less than or equal to number 2. Okay. So we've got greater than or equal to. So I'm going to do this, greater than or equal to. So I'm going to make them equal. So it's going to be greater than or equal to number 2. Let's run it. Greater than or equal to number 2, yeah. And we're going to put equal here, simply equal to number 2. Let's just run that. So we've got equal to number 2 because 15 is equal to 15. Okay, so we're going to do some common string comparison operators. So we've got equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So the first example that we're going to do, we're just going to do the common ones here. So we've got my name and we've assigned it to Joe. So if name is equal to Joe, print hello Joe, else print you aren't Joe. So let's have a look. So there we go, hello Joe. Let's just put Dave here, save it, so we get the message you aren't Joe because it says Dave up here. Right, put that back. If we type in uppercase Joe here, just save that, we're going to get you aren't Joe. Reason is we put an uppercase there and it's case sensitive. Okay, so we've got the next comparison operator here. So I've created a scalar called A and assigned it to the name of Bill. I've got a scalar B here, assigned it to the name of Joe. I've got a conditional statement which basically says if A is not equal to B, print not equal to, or else print equal to. So Bill is A, Joe is B, so they're not equal. Let's have a look. Okay, so not equal to. And if we change the names, let's say Joe and Joe, it should be equal. So we just save it and run it. There we go, equal to, because Joe A is equal to Joe B. Okay, this time we're going to use GT, which is greater than. So I've got a scalar value here, a letter, and I've assigned it to B. Then I've typed in the print here and told the user to enter a letter. Then I've typed in the scalar entry and the standard input, which will get the input that the user types in. Then we come on to the conditional. We've got the scalar entry here. So if the scalar entry is greater than the letter, then we're going to print the entry is greater than the letter. Or else if it's not greater than the letter, we're going to print entry is less than. So let's do this. So we're going to enter a letter. So I'm going to enter A. Okay, so A is less than B. Okay, let's run it again. We're going to type in Z. Okay, so Z is greater than B. Okay, today we're going to look at UC and LC. So UC stands for uppercase, LC here for lowercase. So we're going to create a string. I'm just going to call it str, short for string. I'm just going to say hello, I'm uppercase Perl. Right, so what we do here is we use the print command. We'll use UC and then str. Okay, we save that, then we run it. So you can see that in uppercase, hello, I'm uppercase Perl. Okay, so let's just do the other one. So the other one is LC, lowercase. So what I'm going to write something here in uppercase. Hello, I'm lowercase Perl. Okay, so we'll save that and we'll run it, and there you go. Hello, I'm lowercase Perl. Right, we're just going to do random numbers now using the rand here. So I'm just going to create a variable called my scalar random. I'm going to assign it to int, which is integer, and then rand here, and I'm going to put a value in of 10. So we're going to generate a random number from 1 to 10, and we're going to print it out. So print, that's just going to be scalar rand num. Let's save that. Let's see if we can generate random numbers between 1 and 10. Let's run the program. Okay, so that's the first random number, which is 6. Run it again. 0, sorry, between 0 and 10. And 8. And once more 7. So you get the gist of that. Okay, we're going to have a look at string index positions. So I'm going to create my scalar string, and I'm going to assign it to some text. So I love Perl, like that. And then we're going to create another scalar variable called word. And we're going to assign that to, let's say, love here. Right, and we're going to create another scalar called position. And we're going to assign that to index. That's going to be the string. And the scalar word. Now we're going to print that out. Print scalar position. Let's just print that out. And there we go. It's at position 2 in the sentence. Okay. Right. We're just going to do something slightly more complex. This. We're going to do substring. So this is we've done string index, we've also done we're gonna be doing substring. Okay, so we're going to be doing substring here, so we're going to create a scalar variable called string, and we're going to assign it to a string. So Perl is a great language. Okay, and then we're going to create another scalar variable called substring. We're going to assign that to subtr, which is substring. Whoops, spelled that wrong. That's better. Substring. And we're going to enter in the string here, and then I'm going to enter a starting position, which is going to be 5. I think I'll take it up to position 10 there. And I'm going to print out the substring and a new line character. Okay, so we've got the string in here, and we've got the offset number at 5, so we're going to be starting at 5. We've got the length, which is 10. So let's just save that. Let's just run it. Okay, so we started off at 5. What's that? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we started off at here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we've included this. Okay, we're going to do an example of a Foreach loop. So what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to create an array. I'm going to call it array. Don't worry, we'll cover these later on. So this is an array of information, so names. So Dave, Jim, Sid. Okay, so that's the array. And I want to loop over all of these. I want to go Dave, Jim, and Sid. So I'm simply going to use the for each. So simply for each. I'm going to create another scalar variable here called name, which we're going to use to iterate over the names in the array. For each name in the array, and simply we're going to print out the name. Print simply scalar name new line. Okay, let's save that, let's run it, and there you go, it's printed out for us. Printed out Dave, Jim, and Sid. We could actually just simply do for instead, like that. So we could just say for. Let's run it again, and we get the same result there. Okay guys, we're going to do the until loop now. So I've created a scalar variable here called real name and assigned it to Bob with a capital B, which is very important because this is case sensitive. Now we've got the print command, and we've told the user to enter his or her name. We've got the chomp for the new line, and we've created a scalar variable here called name, and we've assigned it to standard input, which will get the input from the user. Now we're starting to use until, so until this condition is true. So until the scalar name that we entered in there is equal to the real name, which is up here, Bob, print you aren't Bob, and a new line. And then you print enter name again, and we go through the same process. And if the name is equal to Bob, uppercase Bob, then we print out the message here, hi there real name, and this here real name will interpolate that name up there into the string. Okay, we'll come on to the while loop. So what I've done here, I've created a scalar variable called scalar number, and I've assigned it to the value of 1. Here I've used the print command to tell the user to enter a number. I've used the chomp to chomp the new line, and I've created another scalar variable called number and assigned that to stdin, standard input. So that will take the input from the user. And we're using while now. So I've said while the number is not equal to the secret number, print the user a message. And we've interpolated the number in there is not equal to the secret number. And then we've told the user to try again, and we've offered some more inputs. Now you can do standard input like this, or you can do the shorter version, it's up to you. If the user enters number 1, the correct secret number, then we will print off this message here telling them that their number that they've entered is equal to the secret number. Okay, today we're just going to use the exit statement here. So I've created a little program which says my scalar name, and I've assigned that to Dave. And then I've simply done print enter a name, and we get the user input there. Then we go on to the conditional and evaluate it. So if the entry is equal to the name, what the person has typed in, print by and then exit the program, or else just print who are you. So let's test this out. I'm going to put Pete, and we've got who are you. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to simply type in Dave, And there we go, bye, we've exited the program. Okay, here we're going to use the last statement. So we created a for loop here, so for 1 up to 20, and we've got this special character here which will iterate over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 20, and we've told it last if it's greater than 10, and then we're going to print out the numbers. So let's just run this. Okay, so we've gone all the way up to 10, printed out 10. So let's just try that again. Let's say this time 15. Let's run it again. It should go all the way up to 15. There we go, all the way up to 15. Okay, we're going to create a basic array. So we say my, whoops, not capitals, my, and then we use this sigil here, and I'm just going to call it array, and then we assign it to that, and that's your array. And what I'm going to, whoops, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to print out my array. New line character there. What we'll do is we'll run it. Okay, you can see nothing because it's an empty array. Now we're going to populate it. So I'm just going to put some names in it. Dave, Sid, Joe. Okay, now let's run it. So we've got some names in it. Dave, Sid, and Joe. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to clear it. So let's say Scalar Array. Assign it to that, and then print array. There you go, we've cleared the array. Okay, we're going to update the array. So what we've got here, let me just move this up a little bit. We've got our array here called my array. Let's just do that. So this is my array here, and we've assigned some names to it. Dave, Sid, and Joe. And in an array we have elements, positions. So we start off from position 0, then we go 1, position 2. So we start counting from 0, 1, 2. We're going to update this array with some names, James, Bill, and Bertie. So because it's a singular, we're going to do scalar array position 3. So that's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. It's going to be over here. James is going to be over here. Bill is position 4, which is going to be over here, and Bertie is position 5. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the array, and then we simply print out the array. So let's run it. So there you go. We've got Dave, Sid, Joe, James, Bill, Bertie. Okay, I'll show you another way to do an array, a very quick way. We use something called QW, which is quoted words, and we can simply type in anything without it's very, very easy to do anyway. It's very quick. Dave, Bill, Paul, Joe, Bertie. Okay, simply like that. And we don't need to separate them with commas or anything like that. And we simply just run it again. Well, actually, we don't run it again like that because I put some of the names in. So I've got, let's say, Dave, Mark, and Paul. Okay. Right, we'll simply run that again. And there we go, we have the same results, but you use the QW, the quoted words there. It's very quick, especially if you're doing a lot with arrays and that. It saves a lot of time. Okay, we're going to use the Foreach loop here to loop over every name in the array. So we've got the array, we're doing the quoted words, and we use the Foreach, and we create this scalar name. So I'm going to use the scalar name to iterate over all of those in the array, and then we're going to print out each name individually. So let's run it. So there you go. It's looped over all the names and printed them out individually. Okay, we're going to remove an element from the array. We're going to use the pop, and I'll just run it. Pop array. So what we have to do here, we have to print out the array. And this pop method will pop off the last element. Okay, so it's popped off the last element there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's popped off the last element. Okay, another way of deleting elements from the array is using the splice method. So I put splice here, array, and I've started at position 2, and I'm going to pop off 2 elements, and then I'm going to print out the array. So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we started at 0, and we've popped off Monday and Tuesday, the 2 elements. Okay, we're going to remove the first element of the array, which is going to be this one. You remember that the array starts off at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So position 0 is the first element of the array, which we're going to delete. And we can do that by using shift array, and then we'll print out the array. So let's run it. So there you go. You can see that Monday has been popped off here. Okay, in this example we're going to use unshift in the array. So unshift will add an element to the start or the beginning of an array. We can see we've got the array here using quoted words: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now what I want to do, I want to add Monday to the beginning of the array. So let's just run that, and there we go. We've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you remember, we can also create the array like this. Simply, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, let's just run that again, and we get the same result. There we go. The reason I used quoted words, QW quoted words, Tuesday, Friday. Okay. The reason for that is it's a lot faster. You don't have to put quotation marks around it. Okay, so we come to the push method, and this adds an element onto the end of the array. So I've got my array here. I'm using quoted words just for speed: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I want to add H to the end of this array. So all we do is type in push, and then the name of the array, comma, and then the character we want to push onto it, which is going to be H. Then what we do, we'll print out the array, new line character there. Okay, let's save it, let's run it. So we want to add H to the end there, Okay, there we go. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So H has been added to the end there. Okay, everybody. Today we're going to have a look at hashes. So hash is a data structure which allows you to store keys and value pairs. So we create the hash here by using the my, and then we use this sigil here, the percentage sigil, and then the name of the hash, and then we assign it to the key and the value. So Dave here is the key and the value is 77. Same with Bill, same with Joe, and we can print it out by printing the hash sigil and the name of the hash. So let's just run it. So there we go. That is your basic hash. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to access elements in a hash. So we have our hash here, and we've got some elements in here, and we've also got some ages as well. So we've got Bill 99 and we signed 78 to Joe. Looks like a pensioners club. Load of old coffin dodgers. Look at the ages of them, 99, 78 and 55. Okay, we want to access the elements in here. So we're going to use the hash here, and we're going to use Bill and a new line. And we want to access Sid as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this. Okay, so there you go. We've got that. We've got 99 and 55 there. So Bill is 99 and Sid is 55. Okay, so we've got a hash here. The hash is empty. This is another way to access the elements in here. So I'm going to create name here, and I'm going to assign the name to, let's say, Pete, and then I'm going to say age. I'm going to give Pete an age, say 55, and then I'm going to say that's country. Assign a country to that, which is going to be US, something like that. Okay, now I'm going to create an array here called person info, which is going to store this, and I'm going to assign it to an array hash, and then I'm going to add in details that I want. So I want to get the name, I want to get the age, and I want to get the country. That's what I want to get from that. And now I'm going to print it out. So print person info and new line. Okay, so we stuck that info into an array and we're going to print it out like it's an array. So let's just save that. Let's just run the program. And there we go. Pete 55 US. Right, we're going to extract some keys from this hash. So I've got my hash. We've got the names and I've assigned them to countries here. So we want to extract the keys from here. So first of all, I'm going to create an array to store those keys in. So that's going to be, I'm just going to call it info. I'm going to assign that info to keys. And then keys in the hash. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to print them out. So print, it's going to be a scalar because we're printing out one at a time. It's going to be info, position 0 there. Okay, so let's just save that and let's run it. Okay, so we've got SID. Okay, though SID is not at 0. With these kind of hashes, when you put the hash into the array, it can come out, it's anybody's guess basically. So let's run a few more. Print info 1 new line. So we've got Sid and Joe. Let's do another one. Print. It's going to be info 2 new line. There we go. Let's run that. Pete. You got Pete there, because Pete is right at the bottom of the array. So like I say, you can print them out in some strange orders. Right, what I want now is the values of the hash. So all I do is change the keys to values. Okay, let's just run those. And we've got the values. We've got France, Pakistan and the UK. Okay, so we're going to check if a key exists in this hash. So we've got my hash, we've got a list of names and countries. We start off here with the if conditional because we're evaluating something, and we use this keyword here, exists, so that's self-explanatory. Then we use the scalar hash because we're looking for a single element in this hash, and the element we're looking for in the curly braces is SID. So we're looking to see if we can find SID in this hash. If we can, we print a message to the user telling the user the key exists and a new line. Or else, if we can't, we print a message to the user telling the user the key doesn't exist. Let's run the program. So there you go, key exists. Now let's put another name into here. Let's just test it. Let's test the else evaluation out. So that's going to be John. Let's run it. Key doesn't exist because John is not in the hash. Okay, it's time to delete some hash elements. So we have the hash here. I use this function called delete and then the scalar hash because I'm deleting a single element here, and that element is Pete. Then I want to delete another element, so I've got delete and scalar hash, which is going to be SID. So I just want Joe and Pakistan left in the hash, and then I print out the hash. So let's run the program. There you go, Joe, Pakistan. The other elements have been deleted from the hash. Okay, we're going to get the hash size here. So what we do is we create a scalar variable called hash size. And we assign that to scalar. And then the name of the hash, which is here. And then all we do is we print scalar hash size. Save it, run it. There we go, and it's telling us the size is 3. So we've got Pete, Sid, and Joe. Okay, we're going to do a basic subroutine in Perl. So you create it by saying subroutine, and then give your subroutine a name. So I'm just going to call it names, like that. Then you write your code inside here. So first, I'm going to print out a message. Hello, my name is Dave. And we do a / and an N for new line. And then what we do is we have to call it. So if we want to run it, we have to call it. So we call it by its name. Its name is named. We save it. And we run it. So there you go. Hello, my name is Dave. Okay, let's do something a little bit different. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's create a scalar variable called name and assign that to Dave. Let's create another scalar variable, my country, assign that to USA, and then we're going to do the print here. So print, and we're going to do a little bit of interpolation. So we're going to type in scalar name is from scalar country. New line character in there. Save it. Let's run it. Okay, so there you can see Dave is from the USA. Okay everybody, we're going to do a subroutine with arguments. Now depending on what version of Perl you've got, you might have to use this feature here. You might have to import this in. So what we do is we create the arguments here. So scalar name, I'm going to assign that to Dave, and then we're going to do scalar age, assign that to 56, and then we're going to do scalar country, I'm going to assign that to US. Okay. And what we're going to use the print command now. So we're just simply going to say I'm scalar name, I'm scalar age from scalar country, then a new line character. Okay, and we call the program by calling it details. Just save it, let's run it. And there you go. So we passed it some arguments. Okay, I'm going to do some number arguments here. So I've just created a subroutine called number args. And I'm just simply going to do scalar A here. I'm going to assign that to the value of 10, then scalar B, I'm going to assign that to the value of 20. Right, now we're just going to come down here. I'm simply going to print out A is scalar A and B is scalar B. New line. Okay, let's just print that out, the values. So call it by its name, number args. Save that, let's run it. Okay, so there you can see A is 10 and B is 20. Okay, today we're going to do files. So we're going to start off by creating a file on our desktop. Now I'm working with Windows, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to create my scalar path. So I'm going to create a path to my desktop on Windows, so when I create the text file, it will end up in that path on the desktop. So I'm going to do C users mark desktop, because that's the path to my desktop. Your desktop path will be different to this, so you're going to have to find out what your own unique desktop path is, because if you just type this in for you, it simply won't work. Then we use this command chdr, which means change directory, and then we type in the scalar path. So we're going to change directory into the desktop path up there. Okay, now I'm going to create a txt file or a text file. And we do that simply by typing in open. Then we create a file handler, my scalar fh for short, which is file handler. And then we do this little character here. And this will create and write to a file. Now all we need to do is give the file a name that we're creating. So I'm just going to call it file 1.txt. Right, now we're going to use an error handler called or die. So if something goes wrong, we're just going to throw an error message, and it can just be a generic error message like error creating file. So if it doesn't work, it should throw that error message. And then what we do is we print the file handler here, CLFH, and then we can add some text into it. So hello Perl learners. Okay, so that's the text we can add to it. And then of course, once we've done everything, we just close the file. So we do it by close and the file handler here. Right, all we do now is save it and run the program. Okay, so that's a good result. Let's have a look on the desktop. And we see the file that's been created, file 1. Let's open it. And there's the message, hello Perl learners. Okay, in this video, all we're going to do is to append the file or update the file with some information. So all I do here is add that, and what we'll do is we'll add some more information here because we want to update the file. Hello Perl learners, are you having fun? What happened there? Are you having fun? It's more like it. Let's save it. Let's run the program. Okay, let's have a look. Here's the file. There we go. So we've got hello Perl learners, are you having fun? Okay, so what we want to do now, we want to read that text file. So we're just going to have to change this here. I'm going to do this. So this means to read. Okay, so we're going to open it up to read it, this text file. So we're going to have to use a while loop here. While, I'm going to say my scalar line. I'm going to assign it to the file handler, scalar fh here. Some curly brackets, and we're going to print it out line by line. So this is going to be print scalar line, new line character. Okay. So we open the file for reading, and we create a scalar variable here called line. We assign it to the file handler and we read it line by line. So here we go. There we go. Hello Perl learners, are you having fun? Okay everybody, we're going to delete this file here off the desktop. So we've got my path here, C users mark desktop. So all we do now is type the name of the file that's on the desktop. So that's file1.txt. I'm going to create a scalar variable here called myScalar. Sorry about that, a little bit of a problem there. myScalar delete file. I'm going to assign that to this command, unlink. This will delete it, and then the scalar path where the file is. Okay, let's just save that. Let's run it. Okay, let's have a look. And the file has been deleted. Right, we're going to create a new folder or new directory on the desktop. So of course you type in your desktop path, myScalar path, and then your desktop path, which will be different from this. This is mine on Windows. And then you use the command chdir, change directory into that path there. Okay, we're going to create a folder or a directory. We're going to create a scalar variable called new folder. I'm going to assign it to mkdir, make directory. And I'm going to give the directory a name. Simply going to call it xxx. Okay, so that will be the name of the new folder, the new directory. Let's run the program. Okay, looking good. Let's go to the desktop. And there you go. There's the new directory, the new folder that has been created on the Windows desktop. Okay, now we're going to delete that directory or remove it. So create a scalar variable. Of course, you need to be in this path again here for your desktop. Create a scalar variable called remove folder. Assign it to rmdir, remove directory. Okay, pass in the name of the directory you want to remove, xxx. Okay, let's just save that. Let's run the program. Okay, looking good. Let's see if the directory has been removed. Okay, it's gone. So there you go. Okay, we're just going to do a little bit of pattern matching words in a string with regex. So I've created a scalar variable here called myScalarString, and this here is the string, and we're going to match one of these words here. So I'm going to do the conditional. If scalar string, I'm going to do the matching operator now. The scalar string matches, let's say a word in there, let's say great. Great. We're going to print something. This is going to be print match, or else if it's not in there we print no match. print. Let's just take that back a little bit to neaten it up a little bit. Print no match. Okay. New line character there. Okay, let's run it. Okay, it says we've got a match here. So if I put a word in that's not in there, like car, just a random word, we know car isn't in the string, so let's have a look if the program will tell us that. Okay, there we've got no match. Okay, we're going to check to see if this string here has a number in it. So I'm just going to put a number in it, 77, just hide it in there. And what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to change this pattern matching here. So what we can do is D and a plus here, and then we have to escape it, and the D and a plus here is going to match any kind of numerical numbers in there. So we're just going to change this. We're just going to say number found, or else number not found. Okay, let's just save that. Let's run the program. Number found. Okay, let's just get rid of the number and see what the result will be. Of course, we know what it will be. Number not found. Okay, we're going to refactor this a little bit because we're going to just match a specific character in a word. So I'm just going to call this word here. We're just going to add one word into it, which is going to be Perl. Let's call that word. Okay, and we're going to just refactor it a little bit. Found or not found. Okay, we're just going to rework this a little bit. Simply, let's type in the character or the letter that we want to find in this word. So I want to find E in this word. Let's run the program. Found. Let's type in something else. Not found. Okay, let's type in another something else. Capital E. Okay. Not found because it's case sensitive. Right, we're going to check for capitals in our string. So we've got one capital here, Perl. Again, the conditional if the string matches, and we're going to use this M operator here, and then we're going to use the brackets and uppercase A to Z. So if it matches any uppercase character from A to Z, it's going to print capitals found. If there's no capitals in it, it's going to print capitals, no capitals found. Okay, let's run it. Okay, it says here capitals found because we've got a capital P for Perl. Okay, let's turn that into a lowercase p. Let's run the program again. And there you go, no capitals found. Okay, and just to finish off with, we're going to have a look at CPAN. And you can download lots of modules from CPAN. I'm just going to give you an example on how to download one. So you type in CPAN and then you want to know the name of your module. So CPAN install and then the name of your module. I'm going to download this list utility module. So just hit enter. Then you can wait for it. And it should install it. There we go. And it's as simple as that. So I hope you've enjoyed the course, and remember, check out my other videos on here as well. And I've also got another tutorial video. It's 8 hours long, and basically it's a compilation of a lot of stuff I've got on my channel put together, which is very, very good practice for you. So anyway, I'll catch you in another video. Bye bye.